Hello, everyone. Welcome to our AMA session. Today we have a special guest, I can say, the whole team, whole Flex team. They will show you a good presentation about the Flex exchange that you are awaited so, and they will answer all your questions. So just want to remind you all that agenda of our AMA session of today, that team will briefly explain you about the previous updates and show you the full exchange, and then we'll move to the AMA Q&A session. I would like to present the Ilia, the CEO of and he will tell you more about the previous updates and their future plans for the next year. Ilia, your turn.
Hello to everyone. So the day has finally come. We are ready to launch Flex. It's actually in production right now. We've been through a lot of, so to say, trial and tribulations. But I just want to remind to everyone that we're dealing with very complex technology. Our DEX is the only DEX in the world, as far as we know, that has a fully decentralized order book. Other DEX is just having off-chain matching engine, and then it's just settled on-chain. But our order book is on-chain, fully on-chain, and orders matched also directly on-chain. So every user is interacting with Everscale blockchain directly. So Flex is in production. We are going to add, our market makers will be adding liquidity slowly. So we'll welcome you to log in and try. The more you trade, the more you're helping us to test our new DEX. And I just want to mention once again that the first version of Flex is an app that you need to download. There is an app for Linux, Windows, and Mac, and next versions will be web-based with wallets, extensions, different wallets in form of extensions connecting directly. And so we're planning to have a Surf extension and MetaMask connecting to Flex. But for now, it's an app which also has some advantages. It's more secure, for example. So that's basically it. What I would like to say today. We launched a basic product with 5 pairs. It's USDT, USDC, DAI, wrapped Ether, and wrapped BTC against Ever. And we will be adding more pairs later on. So I'm ready to answer questions.
Yeah, maybe it would be better to show the full interface, because we have some newcomers who actually didn't know about the Flex exchange. Just my opinion, it would be nice if you share the screencast here and show it. Thank you.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we see.
So basically, this is Flex. It's pretty intuitive. So you can see here some assets that I have. So I have 499 Ever. I have some wrapped Ether, and I also have some gas, which will be used to fill orders. We have basically for limit order, we have 2 options, post and IOC. Post, you should select if you want to basically provide liquidity and get rewarded for it. And IOC is immediate or cancel. So your order will be executed or as specified or cancelled, basically. And you can also choose a market order, which is kind of self-explanatory. We have trading view integrated here, and we have some, as usual, open orders and trade history here. As you can see, this is my trade history. The order book is over here. So as you know, you have the bid and ask. This is the ask part. If somebody wants to sell, they place it. They place the price and amount, and whoever wants to buy basically is bidding here, basically. So again, the green is bid, the red is ask. The difference between the lowest ask and the highest bid is called spread. And this is basically, the price that is recommended right now for your order to be executed. Here you have again recent trades, and I can just go ahead and buy some, for example, some Ether, and I will be spending 49 Evers, and this is how many Ether I will be buying. So just press execute. As you can see, my order was executed, and now the market, because the order book is relatively small right now, so the market maker will replace some of the positions. We'll see more ask positions later. That's it, basically. This is how it works, and maybe we can just move to questions.
Yeah, just want to ask just my personal question that for now that interface is a web version, right?
No, this is an application.
Application. Okay.
Yeah, you can download it from the website flexdex.fi.
Okay.
It is. I think maybe just adding a couple of words, it is really important to know that some of the traders, especially professional traders, are actually seeking and like better the application version than a web version. So in this case, you will basically have an option of both in the next, I don't know, 30 days.
Yeah, and also here you see markets, and you can switch pairs over here. These are all the pairs that are available at the moment.
Yeah, and we actually have a question regarding the pairs. So what kind of assets will be listed on the Flex?
So as you can see, we start with 5 assets, like I just mentioned, all against Ever, DAI USDC, USDT, wrapped BTC, wrapped Ether, and we will be adding more pairs, and those partners that are using Flex as a white label, for example, the GEX exchange, they will have their own pairs on top of the pairs that we have That's it. Basically, we will be adding some of the FlatQube tokens. We just wanted to launch the exchange first, and then add more assets.
So thank you. We have more questions regarding the tokens. And another question is, it is known that Flex is going to issue its own tokens. And what functionality should we expect, and how many tokens will be issued in total?
So FLX token basically has two functions. First, if you stake it, you will be able to vote for all the decisions made by the DAO. So it's used for governance, and FLX token holders, staked FLX token holders, will be also getting portion of the fees, of the trading fees. I do recommend everybody to go to the website to go through tokenomics in detail to understand it better. For now, we're planning to issue 600 million tokens within the first 28 months. And then depending on the DAO decision, we will increase this number later on. I also want to mention that we're selling very few tokens to the investors. So we did everything we could to prevent large number of tokens being traded. And this is a plus. It's a big plus.
There's another question. Why do you think that Flex will be successful, in your opinion?
Okay, so let me just talk a little bit about overall, perspectives of Everscale. I think in the current market phase, we're pretty much done with the speculation that was driving crypto markets for a very long time. And now we're slowly moving to back to the real world. And the real world means real life use cases that, when you trade, you're actually doing something real in the economy. And because Everscale wasn't able to succeed, in this speculation environment, it was forced to go after difficult real-world use cases like CBDC, for example, like the Venom project. And there are also another few very big projects coming up, which I cannot discuss yet. But my personal belief is that our future is in B2B and with use cases related to the real world. And I think this is much more significant than, of course, a lot of projects made a lot of money, this overinflated environment. But if you do something fundamental, if you really have the best technology, like I personally joined, the bigger Everscale team because I believe in the technology, and I think the technology eventually will succeed. We do have some very significant advantages which other projects cannot, just don't have. So our focus is on B2B, and based on what I know, we're moving to. We are hoping that we will have some significant volume soon on Everscale and on Flex as well. There actually just to give you an example of real-life projects involving Flex in particular, there is a project called DEquity, which is a real estate tokenization, real estate in Miami, residential real estate. This is something that took many years to take off. Finally, there are some platforms that are having success. And this project will be using Flex to trade its real estate tokens in form of NFT. And it's well funded. It's under development. And this is just one example which I can mention today.
I think at the same time, maybe it's worth mentioning the Devote project, which is the voting on blockchain, which is with the help of several internal teams, achieved actually an MVP launched yesterday. The project, I think, has enormous potentials considering that the US distribution of the product is taken on by a company called Wintergreen Associates. Wintergreen Associates created the electronic system of voting for United States years ago. And so they're considered to be the guru, and they've taken on the vote as the potential key project for the US markets. And the potential of the projects and adoption, I mean, it's just could be enormous, both on government and on corporate level, and it's all on Everscale. So, and it will have a token that will trade on Flex.
Yeah, there was actually regarding the Devote. Yeah, there was so many questions about this project from community side. Yeah, and I think that's quite right example.
Yeah, I think at some point the team will present and we'll do an AMA sometime, I guess, after New Year's. But there's a lot to say, and just potential, incredible potential.
Yeah, let's move on to the another part of questions. Another is, what are your plans for the PR? What do you have?
With regards to marketing and PR, we're talking to influencers and marketing agencies right now, trying to select who are we going to work with. And we would like to release the next version, the one with 2 extensions, and then go for massive PR. So the answer is we will do it just a little bit later. But again, our focus is on B2B, and we will be dealing with retail, but we won't be giving it as much attention as other projects. We also see, that this is our like a competitive advantage, because we're not trying to pursue the same audience that everybody else are trying to pursue.
Another question: what did not have time to do by the time Flex was realized?
So basically, we did what we wanted for this release. It's just the release came a little bit later for the reasons that I mentioned. And we will be moving according to our roadmap on the website. So for the next year, like I mentioned, we're planning to go after derivatives and after a new version with 2 extensions. And Breach integrated under the hood, Octus Breach. So these are the main features that you can check the detailed roadmap on the website.
Thank you for the answering. What are your plans for improvement over the next 3 months?
So we would like, this version, actually, maybe I should talk a little bit about the history. So there was a vision that a product where that there is a trader and other investors that basically give some assets, some crypto to this trader to manage. And originally, Mitya, that was in charge of the architecture, he had this vision, and therefore we basically implemented quite complex architecture, and there's some advantages to it. So it's not that there is no demand for this, but because of this, the product that we've created is a little bit more complex than we wanted, and our goal will be to simplify it. And we will also do some work on the UI to make it more intuitive, and basically, the more focus on quality. These are the main areas, aside from adding more features.
Thank you. Thank you. Awaiting more features that will be added as soon as possible. Next question is, it is widely known that the reason for the delay in the release of the flags is addition of derivatives. What kind of derivatives are we talking about?
So perpetual futures will be added first because they are in the highest demand. But it's not the only reason. I should say it's not the reason why the release was delayed. It had to do with many issues that we had, and also with the integration of the market maker, which took a very long time. Also, the API created was never tested before. And so we're in a good shape right now because it's well tested and could be used. So you could also trade through API. I should mention this as well.
Thank you. Thank you for the answering. There's another part of questions regarding the GameFi. Do you have some plans this GameFi on the Flex?
So we can trade any assets listed on Flex, including tokens of gaming projects. So there is no issue to work with gaming projects as well.
And maybe you have a plans for the NFT assets, like NFT trade assets, actually cool feature.
Yes, we do. Like I said about the equity, so this will be NFTs, and the answer is yes.
Thank you. Will there be FlatQube whitelisted tokens on the Flex, and what are conditions for the whitelisting on the Flex?
So the answer is yes, like I said before. The conditions are in general approval of the DAO.
Can you please tell us more about the Flex liquidity program?
So I just want to make sure that I understand the question. If this is related to liquidities on other DEXs with AMM pools, we don't have AMM pools. GEX on we'll have the pools, and so in terms of liquidity, liquidity is basically provided by liquidity provider, and this is our liquidity provider. We already have enough liquidity. Our market maker will be slowly adding more liquidity. Our goal is to have like 50K USD per pair at least.
Thank you. Once Mitya Grashevsky said that the mechanics of adding tokens particularly eliminates impermanent losses when providing liquidity on the flags. Is it so or not?
I think he's talking about impermanent loss, and impermanent loss, there is no issue with impermanent loss with order book-based exchange, as opposed to most of the DEXs, which are AMM-based.
There's another additional interesting question. Does Flex team has some plans to work with other blockchains, not only Everscale, maybe?
So aside from integrating Octus Bridge under the hood to enable trading assets from other blockchains on Flex, and actually, basically bringing assets from other blockchains to Everscale. We don't have any immediate plans because Everscale is just too advanced compared to other blockchains, and in order to launch Flex on other blockchains, it has to have same features as Everscale, which is linear scalability and very high TPS. We may look into near, but it's not an immediate future.
Maybe you have some plans this ledger integration, or maybe some type of tie ledger around the.
Not right now.
Okay, understood. Are you planning any special interactions between Flex and Everserve? And what wallets will be supported by exchange? Everspace, Trust Wallet? Yeah.
So we're already working with Everserve. The way it works right now is by using Everserve, and we have very close cooperation. And like I said, there will be a Surf extension. We are talking to Everspace as well. I think it's a very solid project. They don't have an extension yet, but we had a call with them just a few days ago with Daria, and yeah, we will be in touch and potentially do something together. I guess maybe Sergey wants to talk a little bit more about other wallets, maybe about Wallet Connect, or Daria, who would like to answer this one in more detail from technology perspective.
Okay, hi all. So in our immediate plans, went in the Octus Bridge integration, we're working with Surf and MetaMask on the EVM side. So in the future, we'll consider more wallets both on Everscale side and EVM side. So either through Wallet Connect on EVM, and surely we will consider Ever Wallet, and we can discuss any support of any wallets as on Everscale. So it's I think it's enough. just to our intent, just to show our intentions.
Basically,
we need to start. Yeah, we need to start to launch some product. In this particular case, working with Bridge to other blockchains, and we'll be adding then features and wallets.
our goal is to enable integration of any wallet, and like for example through Wallet Connect. But for now, like these are the immediate plans. But we're looking into like a more generic solution to enable integration of as many wallets as possible. Just to expand on this, right, Sergey?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you for the answering, and I'm sure that more integration with other wallets and projects will give you more users, and as well for Everscale ecosystem. Do you guys plan to launch a P2P service within the exchange?
We haven't looked into this yet, but we will. It's a good idea to take a look into this. Thank you for posting this question.
Yeah, I think our community can suggest you very interesting ideas.
Yeah, basically P2P is mostly off-chain services. If we will find a way to make it on-chain, it would be interesting.
Yeah, because too many people are scammed in P2P, and if you can help them solve this problem, you will get many users, I think. What are your plans for the Flex token sale? Will it on the Everstart or Launchpad, another Launchpad?
So yeah, the original plan was to do a token sale on Everstart as well as on other major launchpad. We're monitoring the market right now, so it only makes sense to do it in a little bit better market. So please stay in touch, stay connected, and we'll share as soon as we have definite plans. We'll share it with you.
Thank you. We'll be awaiting updates on these questions. Is there?
By the way,
yeah.
You can find FLX token in the Explorer if you want, because we already minted the initial supply. But we'll start distributing later after IDO, when Ilia said will be the right time to make IDO.
Yeah, so the token is alive, which is another good news. That thank you for sharing, Sergey.
Yeah, and we spent some time this autumn making tokenomics contracts to realize all our quite complex tokenomics schemes with sigmoids, etc. So basically everything is ready to start the tokenomics distributions, but we're just looking for the right moment to do it.
Yeah, we'll be glad if you share with me, and then I'll share on YouTube as well. We have a few more questions, and then we can move to the YouTube questions. In this summer, there was information that Mark Feldman had agreed on the joint project with CEO of EYWA. Is there any information about this, and is it related to the flags? Mark, maybe can you answer please on this question?
Yeah, well, we actually have not agreed, but we've had several meetings, not just with myself, but as well as the Everx team Thereafter, and as we understand now, they are in the process of integrating with Octus Bridge. And I think after New Year's, we will begin conversation regarding integration into Everscale. And of course, that would be a part of integration with Flex. But there's, to say that there is definitive agreement, no, that is not correct. But there is an integration with Octus that is going on right now. And as I said, we will get back to the question of integrating with Everscale after the holidays.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. There's a few more questions. For more than half of the year, Everscale has been a sponsor of the interesting project, Basic Block, but not a single issue has been dedicated to Everscale. Maybe it makes sense to hold a meeting with them after the launch of the Flex.
So I think that this question should be directed to either a DeFi Alliance or Everx, because I'm not aware of this project. Maybe somebody present on this call is aware of this project and can say something about it.
Unfortunately,
Not sure.
So sorry. So we just.
Yeah, I think that was just suggestion to maybe coordinate some kind of PR events. Just my own opinion.
If you have some information, just send it to us. Yeah. We'll take a look into this.
Do you plan to work with GEX?
Yes, we said multiple times, yes, that there is partnership, and they should be launching shortly after. They should talk about it. I don't know, but they were planning to launch shortly after we launch. So, and they are using Flex order book. So.
Will the fee be distributed to the mainnet Everscale validators, and how much by transactions? Didn't get how this question translated here.
Okay, I already answered this question in the Telegram channel. Yes, all the gas spent in Flex transactions, and there are number of transactions when you trade on Flex, so they will be paid to validators, because it's their job to validate all transactions, and they get paid. I can't say exactly how much per transaction. There are because there are many contracts. It distributed set of contracts, and there are a number of different transactions possible on the DEX. But there will be a lot of gas if there will be high volumes.
Thank you. I think that they know that you will join the CMA session to answer this question. What is the competitive advantage of your project? And can you tell me, please, 3 best features of the Flex that other projects don't have, to convince me and other investors to invest in the Flex in the long term?
So again, going back to the technology, I already mentioned the matching engine, that we don't have a matching engine. The problem with matching engine is that it's a centralized, basically centralized solution, and you are limited. If you have a matching engine, you are limited by the speed of this matching engine. It could be very fast, but you're still limited. with Flex, we're limited only by the speed of underlying blockchain, which is Everscale. And, you know, with all the plans that exist for Everscale, including REP and improved consensus and multiple work chains, so that Everscale will get much faster, and Flex will get faster as well. Only adding ramp will improve the speed a lot, and this is a unique technology. You know, we solved a serious problem, right? Because most of the trading is still going on centralized exchanges, like 97%. We just learned that, you know, the story of FTX, that centralized exchanges cannot be trusted, and we hope that trading will be slowly moving to DEXs, and we believe that we have the best product on the market. This is the main thing, and I think it's enough. You know, we managed to build an order book, a functional order book on chain, and it can be used. And this is a significant achievement by itself.
Thank you, Ilia, for the answering. Just my
I
own.
would, sorry, Roman, I would also reward it as a processing power, the main advantage. The processing power of the scale blockchain, as rightly Ilia said, because we have distributed contracts, set of contracts, exchange is distributed set of contracts. So the contracts of Flex can be in any shard, in any blockchain. If you have multiple blockchains, multiple shards, so it can be processed by users that have wallets in different shards in different blockchains, and so it's scalable. So we can process so many transactions that nobody else could process.
Again, you have basically a speed of one transaction, and then you have so-called throughput, which is how many transactions you can process per second overall. And we are basically inheriting all this from Everscale in Flex, and it's quite unique, right? So high TPS is what everybody are looking for the next wave of adoption. And there is no question, like I know that the market is pretty bad, but at the moment, but you kind of need to always look at in the future. And what we see is that most countries around the world are moving to CBDC, and the only reason they're doing this is because they see this as the only way to compete with crypto. Basically, you need to make your currency crypto, unless you just don't want to be completely destroyed by this new paradigm. And but this different CBDCs need to trade with each other, and I see no other way as them being traded on some public blockchain, which needs to have a very significant throughput, right? Because just imagine, let's fast forward like 10 years from now. Imagine, all countries having their CBDCs, and the entire economy is basically, working on crypto one way or another. You need this processing capacity to deal with the demands of this economy. And for those that that have bad mood right now during the crypto winter, I suggest reading the Sovereign Individual book which actually describes the future. It was written in '97. It describes the future that is happening right now. And the only way to succeed this is to be able to look at in the future. So a lot of projects, in crypto released their technology long before it was needed. This is the specific thing about this industry. But for tomorrow that we're all expecting, right? For this tomorrow to happen, somebody needs to develop this technology today. So this is my, like the last thought that I wanted to share on this call with everybody.
Yeah, just want to add my couple cents that I usually see in the chats that the best the question about the best features of the flags, and maybe it would be better to maybe add more guides, or maybe help you guys to write some kind of guides, I don't know, article about the key features about the flags for the newbies, for the most newbies, because we recently got many newcomers, and they actually always asking us about the feature of the flags. I think it's time to repeat, to remind them. Yeah.
I think in one sentence you should say that it's a decentralized exchange that can match and exceed the speed of centralized exchange. And this is a very big deal. And again, it has an order book which 97, 98, or maybe 99% of DEXs don't have, because they cannot build it. And when they build it, it's not really an on-chain order book.
Thank you. Let's move on to another question. The question is, what companies have you partnered with so far, and what companies you have to partner with soon?
Well, I'm afraid that at this point, I cannot share a lot of information specifically about the big projects, but we have interest for white label solution from a few centralized exchanges. One of them is the biggest in their country. I don't want without their consent mentioning this on this call. So Mark, would you like to add something? Like, unfortunately, it's not like we don't have any partnerships. It's just the partnerships that I would like to mention, I cannot share yet. And
well, I think the key here to say is that we are in the various stages of integration with various companies that number one will improve and broaden the services of Flex. I think that's a very important point. I think that we are targeting at the same time some really interesting areas of trading and financial instruments that I think is going to also add some significant volume and institutional interest to the exchange. I think that CBDC, as Ilia mentioned, is something that we believe for overall adoption, and as maybe Sergey Shashov mentioned yesterday regarding the Venom project, we also think that there's definitely adoption for Flex there somewhere. I think Gosh, I'm trying to mention the projects that are actually, can be mentioned. I think Gosh has some truly phenomenal potentials They have not started like serious marketing program together with their partner among the, I don't know what, 11, 12 million people users in the system. So I mean, there are a lot of plans. There are a lot of big plans. I think also Ilya mentioned that our marketing program will start once we launch the web version. So truly to give a variety of instruments to the potential users. I think we'll have a lot to say somewhere in at the end of February. But for now, just as again, we cannot disclose most of the partnerships that we're trying to align right now.
Maybe I can, without mentioning the actual company, the actual country, maybe I can talk about one project in North America.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so what they basically doing, they're registering oil and gas trades on blockchain, and they're doing it for the government. And there are major players in oil and gas industry are involved. And when we mentioned to them that maybe it would be a good idea to use Everscale as an underlying blockchain, they said, yeah, it could be a good idea, but then once you already have all this information on chain, by the way, the reason they're doing this project is because the governments have no way, this is, 21st century, have no way to identify, where the oil or gas was produced. Even if it's totally obvious that it was produced here, they have no way to verify it. And this project solves this problem. Once you have it all on chain, the next idea that comes to mind is trading this on DEX. So actually trading oil and gas on DEX. And they love it, and they love the idea. And this is just scratching the surface. There is also potential to move, say, in the payment networks, like the national payment networks. Like, for example, we have, some countries have their national payment networks, like let's say Union Pay, right? Something similar to Union Pay. To move it on blockchain, you save a lot of, you save huge costs, because this payment networks, they have high burn, a lot of employees, and none of it is necessary. And there's so many places where a DEX could be used in real economy. And so this is just one example. And if there was just one such project, I wouldn't be feeling very optimistic. There are multiple projects like this. Also, we see, real companies in real economy looking into just trading, large volumes of goods, avoiding, like fiat currencies altogether, including CBDCs, using other assets like gold, for example, and on blockchain, right? So this is another trend which is very, gives you a lot of hope. So this is just to give you an idea, where we're looking at and who we're talking to. And also, most, I guess most of the viewers have seen the latest AMA session with Sergei Shashev, where he mentioned, that Venom Foundation can change the fate of Everscale. And, you could look at it kind of like in a pessimistic way to say that there is no hope for Everscale without Vena Foundation. But you could also look at this, the once this happens, it will be like exponential improvement, right? Because again, we're talking about economy of the entire country, not the smallest in the world, right? With a lot of action, and like everything can, you can wake up tomorrow and see everything is like totally different, including the price of Ever. So.
Yeah, Mark, would you like to add something?
No. I think there are still questions in YouTube that people are looking for answers.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions left. So are you planning to rewrite code to the Solidity?
Sergey, this is not a question for me, or maybe Andrew. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but Andrew, can you comment on this? Is there any point to rewriting the code of Flex and Solidity, and for what purpose also?
No.
No purpose.
Yeah.
We don't have such plans because we have a C++ compiler. It's our product, and we also write smart contracts in C++ on Everscale. It's a good example that we can use different languages to write smart contracts on Everscale.
I would imagine that, maybe Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, I would imagine that C++ is faster. One of the benefits that is faster, right?
Well, in some point, yes, and also some techniques are not yet implemented in Solidity. For example, transfer to an existing wallet with deployment in one transaction without additional transaction for deployment.
Clear.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if writing the code, it will take quite a lot of resources and time. Yeah.
Right.
Hi, what about the trading with KVT? Because Mitya told us that it goes together.
Yeah, since we're already live, nothing is stopping Mitya to launching his pools on GEX with KVT. I'm holding it as well, by the way. I have some KVT, so yeah, this is a question for Mitya from technology part. It's ready. He can use it right now, so it's right now. And he will from what I know, AMM pools part is already written, and it's just a matter of Mitya launching it. He needs AMM pool for KVT the way he was planning to launch it originally, so he will do it this way.
Yeah, just another my personal question. Do you have a full roadmap for the next year? Because as we remember that so some parts from Mitya, some parts from other team members, there you have a full-fledged roadmap for the community sharing, of course.
It's on the website. It's on the website. Maybe will get adjusted a little bit because we had some delays, but yeah, we learned from our mistakes, and Flex was a kind of a difficult shape in the beginning, but I hope next year will be better. We are planning to improve on all fronts.
Yeah, I just asked about the roadmap. Yeah, because
it's on the website. Just go on flexdex.fi. It's there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not divided by the quarters. Just this.
It is. Well,
We will update it probably
for the next year.
We'll update.
That's what I asked.
Because actually, yeah, the first priority is to complete what we planned for the first quarter, but it will delay due to the delayed launch. First of all, the web version with extension, and then we'll be working on the derivatives on perpetual futures. And these major priorities.
Thank you. I think that's all questions that we have for today. We'll be glad to hear anything that you would like to add. Yeah, Mark, maybe.
I just want to say thank you to our team, because it's because of our team, we have a product. They made it possible. They worked very hard, because they just sit there in the background, but they do all the work, and they deserve they deserve credit for it. And thank you very much. And I hope that community will also say thank you for the good product, and please use it. And you have, by the way, because the exchange is new, you have some unique, like whoever will come first will have a unique advantages, because of the there is no efficiency when the exchange is new. You have various arbitrage opportunities and whatnot. You could use the order book for different strategies. So please come and trade.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. See you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.